Hi everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live. My name is Laura Milligan and I am coming to you from my studio that I call the B Spot in Canton, Ohio. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have so many things going on today in the world of Stampin' Up. Free shipping, which we don't do that very often. If you place a $75 product order today only, just for today, you can get free shipping, which is a great thing. And I think we all love that that the word free is always a good thing, and free shipping is always a good thing as well. So if you are there watching me live, give me a shout out, say hi. And if you're watching the replay, leave a comment too, just saying that you're watching the replay. Let me know where you're from. I always love to see where my watchers are coming from. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch my phone down so that you can see some of the things that I'm going to be talking about. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I have several post-it notes of things I wanted to be sure to mention to you today. I just mentioned the free shipping. Hold on 1 second here. There we go. And if you use, this is my host code for the month, and if you go to lauramilligan.com and click on shop, it will take you directly to my online store. And if you use this host code, you will receive, this is my October ordering special. You will receive a pack of, for orders of $50 or more, you will receive a pack of festive pearls as a thank you from me, along with, of course, your hand-stamped card. I will send these out once I close out this particular host code. So that host code is very important, and that is for online orders. So I'm going to leave that right there, see if it'll stay there while I'm stamping. So that is for these free festive pearls. We also have a great starter kit promotion. I don't have a graphic or anything to show you for that, but it's called Starter Kit Plus. And if you've ever thought about joining my team and the Stampin' Up family, this would be a great time to do it. This goes through the whole month of October. Normally, our starter kit is $99, and for that, you get to select $125 in product of your choice for $99. But during October, you still are going to pay $99 for your starter kit, but you get to select $155 in product. So that is a fantastic deal. And there's the biggest thing is people always ask me, well, do I have to sell? I don't want to hold parties. I don't want to, do what you do. That is perfectly fine. Many of the people on my team have signed up because they want to get a great deal on the products. Get them at a discount, because once you become a demonstrator, we as demonstrators, there are all kinds of perks, but one of them is that we get a discount on all of our orders. So you can find information on that on my blog as well. And the other thing I wanted to mention, and anyway, so we welcome all types of stampers. If you want to be a business builder, I have achieved great success in my business over the past 22 years, and I love talking Stampin' Up and sharing what I know. I would be happy to, help you if you want to build a business, or if you just want to be a hobbyist and take advantage. I call that a smart cookie. Take advantage of the demonstrator discount. The other thing we have that is new is a birthday card organizer kit, and this was just released today. It includes this beautiful spiral notebook that you can keep track of your birthdays, and then it also comes with some cards that you can include, their birthday cards, so you can include them there's a little pocket, I believe, where you can keep these so that when you need a birthday card, you're all ready to go. These also make great gifts. I know Christmas is coming, and this would make a great gift. The item number, I don't know if you could read this, it's 161056. I have ordered some of these today because I think they are super, super cute, and it's a great way to be organized so that you don't miss a birthday. So we have that. Also, I forgot to mention, with my host code, if you use that today, with our free shipping special, you have to put in a product order of $75. And then not only will you get my gift of the festive pearls, but you'll also get free shipping. All right, and then I wanted to just quickly mention my class to go for October. Registration closes October 12th. If you are on my email list, you would have received an email invitation for this particular class, and there are several different options. This is a gorgeous class featuring all the fall things, leaves and acorns, and just beautiful, rich jewel tones. So you can read about that. I will have a link to the registration. I will add that when I'm done with my Facebook Live today. But this is the stamp set, and these are the dies. And if you remember the Hues of Happiness dies that everybody loved so much, that had that real intricate pattern, well, here is one that is very similar, but it's featured in this bundle. So you can use this in two ways. You can cut out this shape, or if you want to just put this design on your card front, as is, it'll just be, it will cut this shape right into your cardstock rather than a separate card front, rather than a separate panel. Really, really pretty. This is the class I do once a month. I partner with my adorably cute and talented demonstrator friend Sherry from Canada. And we love bringing you these classes. So look for information on that in an email. And like I said, I will post information on this when I'm done with my Facebook Live today. So, all right. That is a lot of things to tell you. So I see Becky, Carol, Cookie, Deborah, Tanae, Anne Marie, Judy. Hey, everybody. So I'm going to make a card today, and let me find, I'm going to feature the Window Wishes bundle. This is a great bundle, and Sherry and I actually did this in a class a month or so ago. Well, it was for Christmas in July, but I wanted to showcase this bundle because I think it's really pretty. It has a window, a cute little car. I love that. There's nothing better to me than seeing a car at Christmas time with a tree tied on the top, and you can do that with this. In fact, I'm going to come back on Thursday. I'm going to do a Facebook Live take two. I haven't done those for a while, but I'm going to show you a card featuring the window part of this. Like you can see one right here. But today I have a fun fold that I want to share with you. So let me get those parts and pieces out. So we have our card base. We have, this piece is 1/2 by 4 1/4. I have already gone ahead and embossed this for my card with the Stripes and Splatters 3D embossing folder. And this is the piece 1.5 by 4 1/4. This is the one that I have already embossed. Then I have just a scrap I'm going to do some stamping on. I have a teeny little strip, 3/8 by 2.5, little panel for our words. I have 2 pieces of designer paper. These are 1 1/4 by 4. I have a little scrap for some die cutting. And that's what we need to put this card together. So let me bring my mat over. Okay. I started adding the measurements to the Post-it notes because I feel like that way when you watch this, either the replay or the live, you can always go back and check out those dimensions. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my card base. This is thick basic white, 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4. And I'm going to take my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut this at 1/2. Wait, I better make sure I'm doing the right side. Okay, it's going to be this side. So you're going to cut your card front at 1.5. And what I'm going to do, well, first of all, let me get the scoring blade out of the way. Let me turn this so you can see it. So I'm going to cut at 1.5, but I'm going to stop where the score line is. So I'm just going to go to that point and just stop right there. I'm going to check it to make sure. Yeah, I need to go just a titch more. Okay, 1.5. And then I'm going to cut at 4. this over. Okay, so hold on a second because I need to remeasure this. I'm doing this kind of different. So 1.5. And then, give me a second here. Here we go. I don't know. I'm not sure how to do this. I'm all confused. I'm just going to do, hold on, let me bring my card in here. I've got to measure this to make sure I'm doing it right. Oh, hey, Jennifer, glad you're here. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do, this is a different, I said 1.5 by 4, which kind of threw me for a loop here. What I'm going to do is cut it 1.5. I'm going to turn this over and do the same thing at 1.5, like that. And I'm going to go, same thing. I'm going to stop right at that fold there. So my card is going to look like this. So I'm done with my paper trimmer. I'm going to go ahead and set that aside, and I'm going to give a good crease to that. And what I'm going to do now is take my glue and pull this back. I'm going to glue these little 1.5-inch panels down. So this is going to be a card that is flat, that is adhered at the top and the bottom, but that will, yeah, so it's 1.5 from each side, exactly. So this is just, that's going to be my card. I'm going to build my card on that. So the first thing I'm going to do is, well, I got my pin here. It looks like my glue is sticky. I'm going to stick that one down like that. Same thing with the one on the top. This is a fun fold. This is the first time I had ever done this, which is probably why I had to look at my card again. Okay, so we have that. Then I'm going to take these 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. This is from, I loved the snowflake pattern, and I thought it went well with this card that I'm making. And this is from the Storybook Gnomes designer paper. Of course, there's all these cute little gnomes, but there's also this, the back side of this has a lot of snowflakes, and so I chose this snowflake pattern for my card. I hope you're all taking advantage of the free shipping today. I'm pretty excited about that. I put in a very good sized order this morning. So, all right, so I'm going to put that there. Let me scoot this up a little bit so that you can see better. And then I'll put my other piece on the top. I'm going to open this up so I can see better what I'm doing. And I'm just going to center this like that. Give that a quick press. Look. Okay. Now I'm going to start building my card. So first thing I'm going to do is do a little bit of stamping, and I have a scrap paper here, and I am going to stamp, let me bring these in here. I'm going to stamp the house and the roof, and it's nice with this stamp set because it's 2 separate parts. So you can make the house, like because it's a Christmas card, I made my house red, and I'm going to stamp the roof black. And there are separate dies for each of those. So I'm going to stamp first. I'm going to do my red house. I lived in a red house when I was a little girl. Real little girl. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my house. Set that aside, and I'm going to bring in my Memento Black ink. I'm going to leave my red ink pad here for a second because, in fact, you know what? Why don't I just do this? This is my little panel for my words. Merry Christmas. Or I'm sorry, Merry Wishes. Got to pull this up so I can see. Okay, and that's pretty crooked. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to turn this. I don't know why I can't see right today. See if I do better now. Okay, that's better. All right, now I'm going to put my red away. I'm done with that. And I'm going to bring in my tuxedo black, and I'm going to stamp a black roof. Okay, so there's a nice black roof. And I'm going to set all this aside, and I'm going to do some die cutting now. And so I'm going to bring in my little mini cut and emboss machine. I'm going to slide all of this out of the way here and do my die cutting. And with the mini cut and emboss, this is the sandwich I like to use when I'm die cutting. It's plate number 3 and then 2 cutting plates, which are plates number 2. For me, I have better results. It's easier to slide through or put it through to cut. So let me see. My dies are right here. And so I'm gonna use my pool party for my trees. And there are 2 dies for that. One is a set of 2 trees and one is a single tree. I'm going to use both of those. And then I need the house and the roof. And you can see this is the window die, which I'm going to talk about on Thursday for my Facebook Live Take 2. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get these. I'm going to trim this a little bit. I think I can get these all on my platform at one time, and I can cut all these with just one pass through the die cutting machine. So I'm going to do my trees, and then I'm going to take this piece. Yeah, that will work perfectly. I'm going to take my hi Shar from Wisconsin. I'm going to take my house and my roof. And I'm just going to take a chance and hope that they stay in place. We will see. Yeah, and that just shifted, but okay, so let me put that back. You can I actually have some Post-it notes here. You can use washi tape. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to put, this is one of my little measurement panels. I'll just put that on here. You get it lined up again. That just helps hold those in place. Okay, so I'm going to crank this through. And see how easily that goes through? I find it's much easier to use this sandwich than the one that's suggested on the platform. So let me pull these out. So there are my trees, pool party trees, and my house, and my roof. Okay. And I have an extra roof that I had done ahead of time that's house. I'm going to go ahead and use that. That's why I cut extras, just in case. I've done this before. Okay. So now we're ready to put the focal point of our card together. So let me get all these dies out of the way. Are you ready for Christmas cards? I didn't know. I'm kind of, it's fall now. The weather's definitely cooling off, and I almost feel like it's time. I know I have some customers who have actually, they already have their Christmas cards done, which I can't even imagine that. But, okay, so next thing I'm going to do is take this little stamp, and I will show you, it's right here. It's like little snowflakes coming down. So I'm going to just stamp a few little pool party snowflakes across this panel, and I think I'm going to stamp off because I want it to be really light. So I'm going to ink it up and then stamp off. Just have a few. Well, and there I didn't stamp off. I think it's okay. It's still pretty light. Okay, then I'm going to take the tree, and the tree is going to be stamped in the black, tuxedo black Memento, which is my go-to black ink pad. Let me just make sure I got that inked up well. And this I'm going to stamp pretty high up. Put it just right there like that. Okay, so there's our tree. And I think that's all the stamping I'm going to be doing on this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is add a single tree. I'm going to kind of position things. Add a single tree if I can pick it up. Goodness, there we go. And I'm going to bring in, this is the piece that I embossed. And what I want to do is, okay, so Jennifer says she's been working on Christmas cards for a few months. And Margaret, I see Margaret on there. You know what, Margaret? I have a card sitting here from I believe it was 2 weeks ago. You won this for leaving a comment, but I don't have your address. So if you would either email me or send me a message, I want to get this card to you. You were the winner. So, but what I'm going to do with this is tear this to kind of make a landscape. So I'm going to start, and I'm just going to tear this towards me because I like that little frayed, like ruffled edge look. And I want to make this fairly uneven. I'm going to do a little slope. And really there's no right or wrong way to do this. I used to always tear paper. That used to be kind of my thing. And my friends would always know which card I made because it was always the one that had the teared paper. But I love that look. So this is going to go here like that. And you know what? I'm going to tear it a little bit more because I think I want more of my tree to show. But this is just like a snowy landscape. We'll just do that like that. Okay, so that's going to go like that. You know what, I'm going to keep tearing. I want it to be a little bit, and the fun thing is, I mean, really, you can just keep doing this till you get the look, till you get it the way you want. Okay, I think that looks good. So this is going to be attached here, but first I want to just kind of position everything. My house is going to be tucked right behind there like that. And then I'm going to put this on there. Yes, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this with dimensionals. But I'm only going to put them on either side here so that I can tuck the tree and the house behind that. So let me pull in my dimensionals. Put one on this side, one on each side. And then one, I'm going to put it in the middle, but kind of towards the bottom. And I think that will be just fine to hold that in place. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there like that. Then I'm going to attach my little single tree. I did not have cards to give away this week because last week was my, I did that tour of my studio, and gosh, I got so many great emails and responses, comments from that. So I think everybody enjoyed that. That was fun for me too to share with you, share a little bit of my happy place. Okay, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my house, and you can see I use every bit of these. I'm just cutting the leftover edges here because they work just as well. That's a little bit too big. I'm going to snip that off. Don't throw them away. Don't throw those edges away. They're also really good. Those edges are good if you have like a long word panel. Okay, so I'm going to tuck my house right under there. And it's kind of resting in front of the tree. Then I'm going to add my roof. And for the roof, I'm just going to take a teeny snippet of this. It never fails when I go to do my Facebook Lives. It seems like the dimensionals that I have here, because I go through so many, I always end up with an empty sheet like this, but that's okay, it works. So now I'm going to take this piece, and this is just going to attach. It just sort of fits right over the house, and it's so cute. Isn't that cute? All right, next we're going to add the other trees. And these are going to be right here. And these are going to look like they're popped up, but I'm actually attaching them just with my multi-liquid glue because this panel's popped up, so they're going to be popped up too. Okay, I'm going to give that a press and let that stick. And then I'm going to add my words. And so for my words, first thing I'm going to do is put down a little piece of red ribbon. This is the Real Red and Garden Green 3/8 inch ribbon combo pack. And I'm going to cut just a little strip of that. I'll put my words on here. I just want a little bit of this hanging over the edge. Oops, let me fix that. I cannot find my favorite pair of paper snips. That's probably a little bit too long, but we'll see. So these are not real sharp, which is why I'm kind of, normally it would just like snip right off in one little swoop. But anyway, okay, so there we have that. And then this I'm going to angle as well. I think I'm just going to angle it on one edge. And okay, I'm just going to do it like that. So I have one side that's crooked and one side where the words are straight. So I think I'll use the words that are straight. And I'm going to go ahead and just attach the ribbon with a couple glue dots. And then I will position the words over that. It's a fun layout. I think, you know, we make so many traditional cards, which, you know, I love, but it is fun every once in a while to switch it up and try a different layout. So this is going to go just there like that. And then my words are going to be resting right on there. And you know what? I think I am going to angle this a little bit. I think it'll look better. It kind of mimics the ribbon that way. So I'm going to go ahead and put a couple glue dots on the back of my word panel, and I'll attach that right on top of the ribbon then. And then we are almost done. I don't know what the name of this fold is, but okay, so there we have our Merry Wishes. And then on the inside, there's a couple things I think I'm going to use for Lots of Joy at Christmas, but this is a really nice word set too. Word sentiment. May happy moments and wonderful memories be yours this season. But I think I'll do Merry Wishes for Lots of Joy at Christmas. And I did not get that out yet, so let me grab that. And I think I'll do it in the red ink. Yes, you're right, Ellen. I miss those ribbon scissors we used to have. Those were wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up with red and just give that a press for Lots of Joy at Christmas. And there are some cute things, like really, you could stamp the car inside here. That would look cute. You could do the trees that we did in Pool Party. You could do this tree. I'm going to leave mine kind of plain for now. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and fold this real crisply again. Then I want to just embellish a little bit. And so these are the adhesive back sequins. And I'm going to pull, and really any of these colors would work. I think I'm going to use, well, I don't know. What do you all think? I kind of like the white because it looks like, it'd be real subtle. It looks like a snowy scene. I think I'm going to use the white. In my sample, I used the green. So I'm going to take these, and my Take Your Pick tool, which is right here. And I'm just going to scatter. I guess it depends on if you want the snowflakes to show up or be a little more subtle. But I think really you could also mix and match and do a couple of the green, a couple of the gold would be pretty. I'm going to put quite a few on here because I just think they're cute. put that one right there. Okay. So there is my card for today. Fun little fold. Let me know what you think. I think this is a really fun and different fold. It's not that hard to do. Let me get this cleaned up a little bit here, and I'm going to go ahead and change my view. So thank you all so much for joining me today. Don't forget about free shipping. It's only for today. The other things I shared with you earlier go on for the most part the whole month of October, but free shipping is for today only. So it's a $75 minimum product order and you will get free shipping. So don't miss out on that. I've had orders coming in all day, which is very exciting. I'm so grateful. So I hope that you all have a wonderful day. I will be back on Thursday now for a Facebook Live Take 2. I'm going to make another card with the same bundle. So I hope you will join me then. It'll be Thursday at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm in Eastern Standard Time. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much for joining today. And until next time, I hope you have time to be creative today. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.